Hi, I'm Commissioner Nancy Jester, and welcome to Nancy Jester Reports for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. So before I get into the meeting agenda and what we did today, just a couple of announcements. Very excited to say on Friday, April 26th at 11 a.m. at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center on Rainbow Drive in Decatur, we will have our 116th Police Academy graduation ceremony. These are really wonderful special events. I always like when I'm able to go and participate in those. They do a wonderful graduation ceremony for our new police officers, and it's just great to see the academy class and everything. So congratulations in advance to them, and if you want to join us, please feel free to do so. I would also want to make note that Lemonade Days in Dunwoody, which is a very popular festival, is going on this week. So we will throw up some information here as I'm talking with the website for Lemonade Days, so you can check that out and see the times and the dates, how it's all working through the weekend. So I know that we'll be there and enjoying all the fun. So please go to Lemonade Days. Let's see. In addition, before I get into the agenda, want to acknowledge all the sewer spills that we had this weekend. The irony is not lost on me that we have Earth Day, and we had massive amounts of raw and untreated sewage flowing into the environment over the weekend subsequent to a very big rain event. So we had around 30 spills. I've got to get the number, but I think we had around 30 spills this weekend. And when you add up all the volumes, and we're still determining the volumes, some are still we don't have a number for all of them, some are to be determined, but if you were to make some educated assumptions, I would think we're over 1 million gallons of raw untreated sewage that is spilled into the environment this weekend. So that's horrible. And this is something that I've been talking about and posting about for some time. I post every sewer spill that the county has on my Facebook page, and they're in all of my newsletters. So as to highlight for folks what's going on. If you're concerned about these sewer spills and want to express your concern to the regulatory authorities, you can do so by emailing Jean-Ann Gettle. She is the director of the Water Protection Division at the EPA Region 4, which oversees this area. Also, Lewis Hayes, who works for the Department of Natural Resources for the state of Georgia, the EPD, and he oversees water compliance issues, wastewater compliance issues for the state level. So those are two folks that you could email and let know your concerns. As you know, and as I've communicated before, we are under a federal court order called a consent decree to fix our aging, leaking sewer system. We entered into this court order in 2012. And we were supposed to be complete with all the repairs and upsizes and fixes by June of 2020. I don't think that deadline's going to get met. I'm very concerned about this, so please continue to follow this issue and make sure to let your elected and appointed officials know, up and down from the state level to the federal level to the local level, what you think about this issue. It's a hazard for the environment. It's a hazard for folks who are trying to enjoy the environment, and we need to be able to stop this. So if you have any questions about it, please call my office or email my office, and I'd be happy to get you information on this issue. So today we met as a Board of Commissioners, and we had our business meeting where we voted on all the items we reviewed last week. I will note, so it was Older Americans Month, so we had a great turnout from the senior centers around DeKalb and got to see and visit with the seniors this morning. Excuse me. It was also Tourism Week, so we had Discover DeKalb with us, and I thought this was really nice. Commissioner Bradshaw brought forth a proclamation for Klaus and Hilde Friese. They own the Village Corner German restaurant and bakery, and I believe they had a 45-year anniversary of their business. They're in Stone Mountain. They're an iconic business in Stone Mountain, and their son has recently taken over. He's graduated from culinary school, and he's taken over the business now. But it was great to see them, and I thought that was a really nice thing, and I'm glad Commissioner Bradshaw brought that to our attention. So in addition to that, we did have a zoning in Commissioner Bradshaw's district. So that was in, let's see, it was on the Covington Highway. It's one that we'd been dealing with for a while, and it got approved with a whole bunch of different conditions on that. So we did that. Let's see, we had some various appointments. I was very happy, and I want to thank the board for approving my commissioner designated funds to go towards the perimeter CID for some economic development work in the PCID. So we approved that today. That's $60,000, and I'm very happy that I was able to grant that to that wonderful group, so they'll be able to do good work. Let's see. In addition, we had a number of purchasing items that we had previously gone over in our Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. We had 15 separate procurements, so I want to take time to just talk a little bit about those. As you know, until we get our independent auditor, outside independent auditor, going over every procurement over $1 million and giving me and the commission their review of these procurements, I will not vote yes on any procurement over $1 million that doesn't have that audit attached to it. And I know the CEO has put out a new proposal where he'll have some auditors internal of his office that will review procurements over $1 million. That is not the recommendation that came from the review of our procurement department, and that is not an outside independent auditor. We have one because the voters had the wisdom enough to support a referendum where we put in place an audit board and an outside independent auditor. That auditor has been doing great work in DeKalb County. We have seen wonderful outcomes. We've gotten information, at least, even if we're not fixing some of the things, at least we know what we didn't know before, and we can drive compliance based on the information we get from him. So he has sometimes, when we've requested one-off audits for these larger procurements, they're giving them to us, but it's not embedded in the system like the recommendation was. And so until that gets embedded in the system, I will continue to vote no on these large procurements unless I have that report. And again, I've been asking for them one-off and getting them, so that's good. But the CEO's recommendation to have some people in his office review these is not the same. So I don't support that at all because that does not give me the same level of assurance. So we had one of those. We had a low bid for the purchasing of some chemicals that have to be added into the water system. It was over $1 million, but I was able to vote in the affirmative because we did have our independent auditor looked over it, so that was good. I had some things I was not happy to vote yes on, but I felt like it was in the best interest of the taxpayer to do so, which were change orders, 3 change orders to the Snapfinger wastewater treatment plant, the largest of which was based on performance delays due to issues that go back with the rock blasting and all that kind of stuff they were doing down there. And so I don't like change orders in general, especially of this magnitude on this project, but the reason that I think it was in the best interest of the taxpayer to vote yes was because we had negotiated it quite a bit down. So we were able to get a much better deal than where we started. So I feel like the county got to a good number on that compared to where we were. So I did support that. And then again, we had a number of other procurements. I don't think we had, I know we didn't have any over $1 million that I didn't have a audit on, so we didn't have to worry about that. So I was able to support all of the Public Works agenda items. Okay, so we also accepted some grants for the solicitor's office. These are federal grants that one is a Stop Violence Against Women and one is a Victims of Crime Act grant, so that was good. And let's see, that's basically our agenda. A number of things were deferred to other committees, and so we'll continue working on various items that we have before the board. That sums up what we did today. If you have any questions again about the sewer spills or anything we've talked about, give me a buzz or drop us an email in our office, and we'll be happy to get you information. So join me next time for another edition of Nancy Jester Reports.